As interest in sustainability and social issues and workforce issues skyrockets, it may not be long until most companies move oversight of their company's activities in these areas to a standalone board committee, a new committee dealing perhaps with sustainability, social responsibility, safety, and more or less. What are the factors and considerations for doing so? Today on Zippy Point. I'm Brock Romack, and I'm a big fan of yous. As investor pressure, customer pressure, and yes, growing regulatory pressure mounts for companies to weave E&S issues into their corporate strategy, the oversight of this strategy may well eventually be housed in a standalone board committee rather than having an existing committee deal with it as one of their many duties and responsibilities. Or for some companies, these E&S issues simply are not on the board's radar enough yet for any of their board committees to be dealing with these issues on a regular basis. There's no mention of E&S in any of the existing board committee charters, no mention in the corporate governance guideline. But I imagine this will all change soon enough. First of all, you have all the pressure from the various stakeholders on the company. So there are expectations from investors, customers, potential customers, regulators, and in some cases, from employees and prospective employees. But many companies may also face pressure from a judge in the courtroom, as some folks may decide to file lawsuits alleging a lack of meeting fiduciary duties because the board was providing scant or no oversight of these issues that clearly today are a societal norm right now. They are top of mind. As more boards create standalone board committees for these tasks, that will indeed place peer pressure on those that do not, but also give fodder for those thinking of filing a Caremark-like lawsuit. So assuming your board is thinking of creating a standalone board committee in this area, here are 4 things for you to consider. 1, the new board committee's name. It should be broad enough to encompass its purview. How broad a reach will this new committee have? It's really going to depend on each company's facts and circumstances. The boards right now that have these types of committees have all sorts of different names. There's really no standardized name. So maybe it's a corporate responsibility committee, maybe it's a safety committee, maybe it's a sustainability committee, whatever is truly reflective of the committee's reach, or use 2 or even 3 words to describe what a committee does. Of course, you can always change the committee's name later, fine-tune it down the road, but it's good if you get it right from the start, if you can. 2, the new committee's charter. A charter isn't required for board committees beyond the 3 key board committees, the audit committee, the compensation committee, and the nom and gov committee. But every board committee should have a charter, and they usually do. It helps to set forth what a committee's responsibilities are, what its delegated authority from the board is, what the committee composition and structure look like. Of course, certain activities can't be delegated to this new board committee, the ones that stock exchange requirements, director independence rules, SEC rules, require be housed within one of those 3 key standing board committees. The audit stuff stays within the audit committee's purview, the comp stuff with the comp committee, and the nomination of new directors with the governance committee. Now you can find a number of charters for committees in this area established by other boards by doing a simple Google search, but be careful as you want the content of your committee's charter to reflect exactly what that committee will be doing, what limits they have. But it's always useful to look at samples to ensure that you're not missing anything. So here are a few that I found doing a Google search. This is the Wells Fargo Corporate Responsibility Committee Charter, Shell Safety, Environment and Sustainability Committee, Ford Sustainability and Innovation Committee, and Bunge's Sustainability and Corporate Responsibility Committee. 3, new committee's members. Then you need to decide which director should sit on this new committee. Obviously, it would be good if some of them have some experience, some expertise with the issues that they will need to oversee, particularly the committee chair. Also consider whether the director has the time to take on new responsibilities. Are they already overbooked, overworked by their existing board duties for this board, by duties they have outside of this board, their day job, or sitting on too many other boards perhaps? You may wind up actually adding a director or 2 to your board so that they can sit on this committee. 4, public disclosure of the new committee. Your company will likely want to trumpet the creation of this new board committee. A voluntary Form 8K may be in order after it's established, with a press release filed as an exhibit. So here's an example of a voluntary 8K filed under item 8.01 of that form from Dana Corp, announcing the creation of its new Technology and Sustainability Committee with a press release filed as an exhibit. Then also trumpets this on its separate webpage that on its corporate website about its sustainability and social responsibilities. It includes a mention of this new board committee. And then come proxy season, you will be adding this new committee into your proxy disclosure, mixing a description of this new committee into your item 407 disclosure that you have about other existing standing board committees. Technically, item 407 disclosure isn't required outside of the 3 key board committees, but it's pretty much a universal practice to describe all the board standing committees in the proxy. Plus, item 407H elicits disclosure about a board's risk oversight, and this new committee clearly will be overseeing some risks that a company has. So for example, Wells Fargo has 7 different standing board committees. The company describes each one in its proxy, plus the company's proxy does have a separate risk oversight disclosure discussion. As for those directors that sit on this new committee, you'll be listing their committee membership as part of their director bio. That's item 401A disclosure, and as part of the board and committee meeting attendance calculations and disclosures under item 407B. So here's the bio from the proxy from Wells Fargo for the director who is the chair of their corporate responsibility committee. You can see her background, her experience includes being a chief sustainability officer. I have separate Vid-Guides about each and all of the SK items that elicit proxy disclosure, including these 2 items, up on zippypoint.com, and let me know what you think.